I mean, it kind of, it differs from person to person,
Yeah.
but um, partly autism is an indicator of an expansion in how awareness is connected to the physical plane of Earth. And and that shift is like moving, like it's moving out of that strict mechanical sense of time.
Mhm.
Um, and to some degree, it's moving away from a rigid connection with linear time.
Okay.
And it's an intentional shift. It's almost more, they think that the part of it is to think that's kind of more like what we're moving towards as
Mhm.
a species than than it being wrong, or
Right. Hmm.
um um and I mean, given that most, given that most of, most human beings on Earth are still mostly connected to the mechanistic, yeah, the mechanics of time.
Yep.
um, um, they would suggest that you, oddly enough, the thing to do would be to give yourself permission to have times like in your day or your week or whatever where you don't do clocks.
Okay.
Um,
And that
how,
makes sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. And I'm just thinking that this is another question that I'm also taking towards my project.
mm-hmm.
And so I was just wondering, I did understand when you were talking about it has to do a lot with the awareness of the person at the at a as a point of, I don't know how you said it, but I wrote it down. As but yes, I you had mentioned in the past that to just allow someone like myself or anyone, even when I'm talking with others or mentoring others, that it is a good idea to allow yourself to just be who you are, and whatever happened, like, I mean, just allow yourself to have these times, and I don't know if you can say the word times, but have
Yeah,
the possibilities to just do what you do, when you do it, how long you do it.
yeah. It's and they're laughing because they're like, well, like one of the things we would suggest is like you like turn on a timer for 3 or 4 hours and then just walk away, right? Like,
Right.
so it's funny because, but it's really about what it is learning how to manage the continuum of experience that you have, right? So basically what it is it's something where, one way to look at this, and you don't actually, like, you can have this experience without being autistic, but definitely people who are autistic tend to have a very stretched sense of time,
Yes.
so that the clock will go by in an hour and you only are experiencing 5 minutes,
Right.
right? And so it's about, so what that is in a certain sense, if you think about like I talk about the continuum of energy between potential and form. What
Mhm.
that is very much moving towards the potential end of experiencing time. And when you, because the form end, at the very far part of form
Right.
end, would be the very rigid tick 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 of time.
Okay. Okay.
right? So that if you're on the continuum away from that really rigidness and you're going more and more towards the
Yep.
fluid experience of it, that means that, in a certain sense, it's not tick, 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 it's tick, tick, right? So your awareness of the let's say passage of time is very much stretched out
Okay.
when you move into the fluid experience of it.
Right.
So
It is
giving
the
your
unknown, and it is the unknown.
and it is, and it's also uncertain because there, because over here with the tick, 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 tick of
Yeah.
time, the idea is we know.
Mhm.
Whereas you get to the potential end of the continuum, what's down there is we learn.
Right.
So you're not in a place, you're at that's the threshold of the unknown. That's the place where you're becoming, and
Right.
you're not afraid of it.
And
Right there.
sometimes it's freedom, actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for,
You're welcome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is part of the reason why I have to have at least 1 week in my month where I have no promises of time,
Right.
because I need to be able to get down there and not be, because so much of my life is this tick, tick, tick.
Right.
And that's not who I am naturally.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks.
you're welcome. That's why in the movie, the Matrix, I'm so in love with that whole thing about the oracle in the kitchen, and she's baking
Yep.
cookies and people come and see her, because that's my whole idea. I would just love to spend all day baking chocolate chip cookies for people that show up at my door. We'll get there. Okay, so time. So Puff, do you feel like I answered your question, or?
So just like in this rabbit hole with all this.
Yeah, this is definitely a rabbit hole.
Yeah, because I just feel that, so it's like question have like the two points of view. So from our point of view,